for this video, so, yeah. They appeared... How... who appeared? The FBI? The FBI, or... okay, yeah, anyway, let's just, get into this shithole of a story.
A normal life. A good life. I had amazing friends and lived in an awesome house with a pool. I always thought that I lived...
Nice bragging, bro.
...secrets. But...
This shit looks like the FNAF box.
my loving parents were actually my kidnappers, who hid...
First off, how does the title... What the fuck? My brain's already having a seizure.
It's a little more
First off,
complicated
that's probably
than that,
like a
though.
third-degree
Before I
felony.
start, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel.
No, guys, subscribe to my channel!
Otherwise, your favorite celebrity will be kidnapped.
That's like that's like that shit they used to do back in the day on YouTube when I was just like this video or a spider will be under your bed. I'm pretty...
Well, a little sooner, I wouldn't be in this mess. I don't remember...
Shut the fuck... Okay, yeah, I can't find my phone. Maybe it's under my bed sheets, or under my bed even. Or where the find my phone, I might be... Oh wait, fuck, it's right there. Bro, I was staring at it the whole time, I'm actually retarded. We got the soundboard ready, boys.
was really young, except that we moved around a lot. My first memory
Okay.
started when I was around 3 or 4, and I just remember moving to a new house every few months. Our moves were always sudden, and sometimes I would have to leave right in the middle of something. I always thought it was perfectly normal, but in retrospect, it was all a little weird. I remember this one time in particular very vividly. I was going to a birthday party of my friend from the
They just pick you up and then just drive off. No more having friends, sister.
park. I can't even remember her name, but I can remember that it was the first birthday party I was ever...
New Corsadil
Oh,
gum
son of a
strengthener.
bitch.
Cake and balloons, and they even hired a face painter. I was in the middle of getting my face painted like a tiger when my parents just picked me up and told me we had to go.
Funny story about a face painter. I didn't want to wait in line, so I drove like one of those plastic trucks into like the stand where she was. She left. I was like 4 years old, by the way.
I was crying without so much as saying goodbye to the birthday girl. I cried so hard the paint got all over my clothes. Luckily, the painter only managed to get half of my face. My dad always said he had to move for work, and I didn't really question it further. Still, I missed out on a lot of things kids got to do.
Yo, hold on. This guy looks like a gay version of Stone Cold Steve Austin. Hold on. Let me Google a picture of him. Yeah. Dude. He just looks like Stone Cold Steve Austin, but if he had like a fucking chopped ass jawline. Or, well, I mean, I mean, if you had like a Minecraft jawline. No, you know what he looks like? He looks like Steve. He looks like Steve. Minecraft Steve. But if he still had the beard. I used to think that was a smile, by the way.
Missed out on a lot of things kids got to do. I didn't go to school for a really long time, and I never really made any friends in my childhood. I got so used to moving every...
The reason why I don't go to school is because school is the Illuminati, and it's part of a government experiment.
months that I didn't even unpack my room. I wasn't bitter about it, though. If my parents said we had to move for work, I just believed them. As I got older, these random moves got much less frequent. After we managed to stay in the same place for a whole year, my parents decided to buy a house. It was my dream come true. It was huge.
Wait, have you guys just been renting a house the whole time? God damn, you poor!
4-bedroom, a pool, a trampoline, and it was in a neighborhood full of kids my age.
And it was in a really good neighborhood. How the fuck you spell neighborhood? I'm illiterate. White neighborhood. Even Google agrees with me.
watching YouTube videos together. We loved watching true dramas like on My Story Animated.
We loved watching Live Leak and seeing someone fall off an escalator. Shit. We loved Live Leak, watching someone get thrown off a building. My favorite.
To change our lives forever. Our favorite channel had posted a video about a girl who went missing over 10 years ago. One day, a 2-year-old had been playing out in the garden when she just completely vanished. The story was
Yeah, that sounds believable.
so eerie and a little sad. A woman had just lost her husband in an accident. Her daughter was all she had, and then she vanished from her life without a trace when she was playing in her own backyard. Officers made this a cold case years ago, but the mom was still looking. She made billboards and traveled around, never giving up hope. The video transitioned to a slide showing a photo of the girl when she was taken, and a Photoshop picture of what she would look like now. Susan immediately paused the video. "Carly, that looks just like you." "Yeah, what are the odds?" I tried to laugh
What are the odds? We need to kill her. We need to kill her. She can't figure out what we're doing.
off. "Pretty
She
slim,"
can't figure out
she
my
said.
operation.
She was right. That girl
We need to kill her. We need to kill Susan. She can't figure out our government operation.
out. She disappeared on my
Make amazing scrambled eggs using this lovely stuff made from ingredients that
Y'all know I can't ignore the goat, Mr. Ramsey.
haven't been passed through a cow.
Never mind.
time to eat dinner with my parents. Susan and I were uncharacteristically quiet. "So, girls, what have you been up to all day?" My mom
We figured out that you guys are running a government operation on me. You're taking my DNA and putting it into test tubes. By the way, where the fuck did Dad go? He was sitting here like 5 seconds ago.
asked. "Nothing." She asked why we were acting so weird, and we just told her we were fine. I asked her if I could spend the night at Susan so we could go study. Susan and I continued to research the topic at our house and found only more incriminating evidence. We didn't know what we should do, so we asked Susan's older brother for some advice. At first, he thought we were being crazy, but when he read into it, he said we needed to do something. He was going to make
You guys are being crazy. Shows phone. We need to do something. Stands up heroically.
Months had passed, and I started forgetting all about the searches. Maybe it was because I was getting so invested in high school, but
How do you forget that you're literally you got taken by some random perverts on the street and now you live in, like, North Dakota or some shit?
part of me just didn't want it to be true. Ignoring it was easier than anything.
The worst part is living in North Dakota.
It was clear something was wrong. When I got into the car, I noticed there were blankets covering loads of stuff in the back seat. There were bags
We're going to a different state. We're going to Mexico, guys. We're going to Mexico.
I said. My parents looked at me and said that my father's brother had gotten into a very bad accident, and they didn't want me to find out through the teacher. We were going to drive a few states away and take care of him for the time being.
This is bullshit.
I didn't even know I had an uncle. There was obviously something fishy about this. They told me to text Susan to let her know I'd be staying with my uncle for a bit. After I did that, my father took my phone out of my hand.
I'm taking that. It is no longer yours. Throws it out of car and runs the phone over.
asked Wi-Fi. They just shut me down and told me to behave. Because they were so upset, I just let it go. I assumed we would only be gone for a couple of days, but days dragged on into weeks.
You've
Even if
experienced this like 600 times. Why do you think you're only gonna be gone for a few days? Like,
I had my phone on me, I doubt it would work. We were in the middle of nowhere. My uncle was virtually a zombie. He stayed in bed, surrounded by lots of
Well, he's probably not your uncle, seeing as you got kidnapped when you're like 3.
everyone. When they were gone, I searched the house for my cell phone or a computer. I couldn't even
You're
find
not
a
finding it, bro. He ran it over before you guys left the school.
landline. I was a prisoner here. One day, when I was exploring, I found a secret door under one of the carpets in my parents' bedroom. I found a secret.
Oh no. Oh no, it's a human trafficking dungeon. Swear they keep their victims.
secret
Don't
room.
go in there.
And my heart sank when I saw what was inside. There was
A bunch of dead bodies.
landline, a PC, a whole bunch of cell phones, and a full box of old ID cards about the very kidnapping that Susan and I had seen. The most recent date of the paper was only from a couple weeks ago. The title read, "New tips on a missing persons case brings us one step closer to bringing..."
Bro, just give up the missing persons case after like what 2012. This is 2020, so that would be like 8 years ago.
a
So
missing
basically a
girl
decade.
home. The photo on the page was not
I still feel like 2012 was like 8 years ago, something like that.
photoshopped. It was me.
I'm stuck in 2020,
Underneath me
boys.
was a picture of my parents.
You weren't supposed to see that. When
See
the
who it
rest
was?
of them.
Everything went black. I don't know how long I was out for, but I woke up in my bedroom. I tried to leave, but I was locked inside. I cried
There's a thing called a window.
and banged while my kidnappers showed up at the door. I screamed at them for lying to me my whole life. All the moving and mystery, it's
What you know what the dad actually looks like? He kind of looks like the neighbor from Hello Neighbor.
ill, and he didn't think
I always used to call him Mr. Robertson. The neighbor from Hello Neighbor. Yeah. This guy. Yeah, he looks like this guy.
it'd take me away. He mysteriously had an accident. We didn't have any other choice.
What do you mean mysteriously? He's just like, I'm driving. No, what is my car doing? No! Ah!
Of cops. They would never go against her. My parents feared a court case may push her to hurt me, so they kidnapped me and gave up their lives to try to give me the closest thing to a childhood I could have.
I mean, that's nice, but like... What? Well, we've only heard, like, the fake parents' side of the story. We haven't heard, like, the, fucking actual parent.
They promised to be more open with me, but some things they kept from me to keep me safe. Now, it all made so much sense. I started to cry and promised to do as they said.
What is this story, bro? This feels like fun.
Only together. After a few months, I got used to our quiet life together. I cut my hair and used a new name, but I still try to preserve parts of the old me. Even though my parents specifically asked me not to talk to Susan, I followed her very popular Instagram and YouTube channels. She had so
Susan's stories. Let's go search her up. YouTube. Let's see if you're pulling my leg here. Susan's shit. Stories. Susan's stories. This is nothing to do with Susan's stories. You scammed me. I'm reporting you. I am reporting you. Don't actually report them, guys.
I couldn't just not talk to my best friend. To her, I was just a stranger, telling her how awesome her latest video was. At first, I thought Susan was going to ignore me, but I got comfortable and let my guard down. I forgot that I wasn't supposed to be talking to her. In her latest post about a soda drinking challenge, I asked if she remembered the time I spilled grape soda all over my white dress in the cafeteria. Immediately, she wrote back, "OMG, I knew it was you! Where are you? It's been years! I can get the cops to you!" I panicked, realizing my mistake. I was so sad to lose Susan a second time, but I deleted all of my social media accounts. I didn't bring it up to my parents, fearing that I would lose my internet
Why are you still calling them your parents? Hold on, how did you not recognize this the first time? Because look at this shit. Look at both of their hair. Like, he has green eyes, she has brown eyes, you have blue eyes. How does this make sense?
privileges again. That was not the smartest decision. A few days later, cops were banging on my cabin door. Who knew, reminiscing about my door? Susan had called the authorities and they were able to track my IP address. My parents...
This is just... There's so many holes in this story. Like... How?
Had a
Oh,
normal
shut up.
life. A good. My birth mother tried to run away, but the cops stopped
Yo, well, okay. I
soon
think-
after her. That they
Like
were
us-
dragging my parents away. My birth mother was hugging me and saying how long and hard she had looked for me.
Your parents.
Motherhood so soon after her husband's death. Her anger soon turned into fear when they shouted back that her husband had never died. That's just what she wanted people to think. When the cops back, my uncle's bedroom. My birth mother tried to run away, but the cops stopped her. Apparently, my sister divorce papers, she staged his death. But my kidnappers had actually saved him and had hired people to care for him for years. They,
Okay, are they your kidnappers or your parents? Make your decision.
despite
Got
whether or
kidnapped.
not they did the right thing, my parents were arrested for kidnapping on the spot. Because of the discovery of my birth father, who was reported dead, my birth mother was brought in for questioning and later charged with attempted murder. When the cops asked if I had anywhere I could go, I decided to give Susan a call. She was so happy to see me. So much had changed, but we were able to go back to our friendship. We're currently working on an indie documentary about my life.
Documentary. It's been 5 years, bro.
And from time to time, and my birth father in the hospital, but
He still looks like the Hello Neighbor.
prison from time to
He
time.
still looks like... Hold on, let me pull up the comparison. Shit. I gotta use this as the thumbnail, bro.
But I don't know if I'll ever be able to have a relationship with her.
What is this? Sister returns after 9 years with the better animation after like 20 years.